Ambushes, they occur all the time to police officers. Some people don't know what they are. How did they start? Can officers even defend against them? Today, we're going to see what officers did when a suspect pulled up to the front of the police station and said he needed help. Let's take a look at this video as we dive into this Tillman take.
Ryan Tillman, real talk, it's the truth.
All right, guys, so what's an ambush? An ambush essentially is when somebody catches an officer, and this is obviously for the sake of law enforcement, but when somebody catches an officer off guard and tries to assault them, either trying to take their life or try to cause some physical bodily harm to them. And so today what we're going to watch is a situation that happened in San Diego, California on April 10th when a suspect showed up to the police station asking for help. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cut to the beginning part of this video, and I want to show you guys what actually happens as he pulls up to the front of the station and calls the operator at the police station. Let's take a look.
Harbor Police, this is David.
Yeah, hello. I was wondering, you could help me right here outside the car?
Yeah, what can we do for you? Sir, what do you need? Hello?
So at this moment in time, the suspect walks up to the phone, calls the dispatcher, says he needs help. Now, obviously, typically when this happens, we have most police departments have a phone in the lobby so people can come in and report something. And when they report something, usually dispatch will dispatch it as such and say, hey, somebody needs help. And they'll dispatch an officer to the lobby to go contact that person. So that's exactly what the officers did. They went ahead and dispatched an officer to go out there and contact this suspect in the front lobby. And this officer walks up and sees a person who's now the suspect who's now in his vehicle pull it to the front of the station. So what I want to do now is I'm actually going to fast forward to the body cam where the officer actually gets to the lobby and tries to see what's going on. Let's go ahead and take a look at this part. So we're watching as the suspect walk up to the lobby, and he's going to walk out and see the suspect in his car now.
Hey, how's it going? Good. You want to talk to an officer?
Yeah.
What's going on? Hey, hey! He's got a gun. He's got a gun. Put your hands up! Put your fucking hands up now! Put your hands up! Drop.
Now let's pause the video. Do you guys see right there on the bottom, or actually on the left part of the screen, you guys can actually see the gun in his hand. That's what that officer saw as he walked up to that vehicle. So the suspect has one hand out the vehicle, and he has the gun in the other hand. So this is exactly what the officer is seeing from his body cam. Let's keep watching the video.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun now! Drop it on the ground! Drop it on the ground!
Just that quickly, the gun battle was on. Let's keep watching the video and see what happens.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the gun! Get your hands up! Drop the fucking gun! Drop it! Put the gun down! Reload! Drop it! Drop the gun!
So what's interesting in this is that these officers had no idea what was coming. And that's what an ambush is designed to do, is designed to catch somebody off guard. And so why are these videos so important? They're so important because, I want you to realize what officers are up against. They have no idea sometimes what they're handling. This actually just came in as a call for help. The guy walked up to the station and said, hey, I need help. And so how was an officer supposed to know that an ambush is lurking around the corner? There's no way at all for them to know that this is lurking around the corner. No way. And so when we talk about, officers being in fear of their life, anytime they do traffic stops or, they walk up on somebody and they said, hey, I was in fear of my life when they had their hands in their pocket or when they made a sudden movement to a coat or whatever. The reason they're in fear of their life is because they don't know if this is going to be one of those moments where it's an ambush. And so you have to realize that officers are watching videos like this in their briefing settings or when they're doing their training. They have to watch videos like this because they have to know, are there any signs or any telltale things that will say, hey, look, an ambush is around the corner. And if they've never seen what an ambush looks like, how do we expect them to respond accordingly to deal with that threat when it arises? And so this is why officers are so fearful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to fast forward the video, and I'm actually going to show you guys exactly what that officer saw and what made him react like he did. So this is a still photo where you can see the suspect has his hand out of the vehicle with that gun in his hand. That's exactly what that suspect or the officer saw when that suspect put that gun out the window. I mean, you have to have a reaction that is ridiculously quick in order to respond to that threat. The officer did a phenomenal job. Once he recognized it, he got back to cover and addressed it, tried to de-escalate it by telling the guy to put the gun down, and the guy never cooperated with his instructions. And so until his backup arrived, the officer stayed there, tried to get him to put it down, but he never did. This is exactly the gun that the suspect had in his possession. Looks like a Glock. And now, when I read the article, it said that the suspect had an unexpended round that was actually in the chamber. So if he would have pulled the trigger, it would have went bang. And what's interesting is there was a empty shell that was in the barrel of that gun, which is very, very interesting. And so maybe, I don't know if the suspect tried to fire the weapon and it malfunctioned because there was an empty round in the actual barrel of the gun. Who knows? But this could have been a suicide by cop situation. This could have just been a straight up ambush where the guy wanted to cause harm to some officers. We don't know. But it's important to watch these videos because, you know, at any given time, something like this can happen to a police officer. Shoot, something like this can happen to a normal civilian. I mean, we're seeing it more and more now where crime is just, you know, trending at all-time highs. And so, you know, I go back to the question I asked at the beginning of this video is, can an officer prevent an ambush? It's impossible for an officer to prevent an ambush. It's impossible. Why? Because we don't know when they're coming. They're surprised. They're surprise attacks. They're unprovoked attacks. And so what we can do is watch videos so that way we can see indicators that might give way, that might say, hey, look, there might be something that's coming. Prepare yourself. But there's no way to know when an ambush is coming. The only thing we can do is watch videos like this and in our mind rehearse scenarios over and over and over again so that way we can see the indicators when an ambush is on the rise. So with that being said, I hope you guys learned something about this video. I commend those officers with how they dealt with this situation. If you want to know what happened to the suspect was shot a few times. He went to a hospital where he was found in critical care, or not critical care, but in critical condition. So it sounds like he survived the attack, and I'm sure he'll be dealt with accordingly. But that's the end of this story. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational for you. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave some comments in the comment section so we can hear what your thoughts are. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again, and God bless.
Ron Tillman,